He asks the Matrix to unleash its power in this desperate hour. However, his call for help goes unanswered, and the Matrix fails to open. Trypticon swats Optimus with his tail and stomps him into the ground. We have finally made it to the end of Transformers Monstrosity. Hey, what's up, Beyonders? James here, and I hope you are hyped and ready to see this story through to the end. Let's get into it. So remember, we last left off with Trypticon being awakened by Scorponok. But before we get into that madness, we go to this awesome conversation between Alpha Trion and Optimus. We see here Optimus has lost faith in his ability to lead. He's angry and feels he has failed multiple times now because he couldn't keep Grimlock, Diatlas, and countless other Cybertronians from leaving. Alpha Trion tries to reassure him by explaining everyone makes their own choices, that a leader's job isn't to make decisions for his followers, but to teach them to make their own. Now Optimus wonders if his anger is based on everyone having broken free and left Cybertron while he feels chained to it, trying to achieve his impossible duty to save it and the people. Alpha Trion tries to pass on more words of wisdom until their conversation is interrupted by Jetfire. Moments later, Jetfire reports to Optimus that Scorponok has awakened Trypticon, and that the Dragon Titan is decimating everything in its path. At that moment, Silverbolt reports to Optimus that the beast is heading toward the city Harmonex, and that the Silver authorities are trying to evacuate the nearby tourist cities. Optimus orders Ironhide to assemble a strike team, and Ultra Magnus to grab all the heavy ordnance he can. Later, we go to the heart of Metroplex. And I like this a lot because remember, we've been here before. We saw this in chapter 5 of Autocracy when Optimus and the Autobots were in the Acropolis, Metroplex's former disguise. Optimus is here asking for his help, and he reveals that he knows the Dragon Titan. He explains that it is a terror from a forgotten age, a spawn of Mortalis, a vast mindless engine of destruction. The ancients knew it as Trypticon. Many years ago, he fought it and helped seal it away. Now, he doesn't say that he fought alongside the Knights of Cybertron and helped them seal it away, but we know that has to be the case since Jetfire in his research found out that the Knights were the ones who sealed away Trypticon. Now, a quick explanation as to who Mortalis is. He's one of the 4 Transformers to come into existence after Primus. This is something IDW introduced into their Transformers continuity. These 4 Transformers, including Primus, form the guiding hand, the 5 gods of Cybertron, each supposedly representing an essence of Primus. Mortalis specifically represented death, and using his Void Scepter, created and controlled Trypticon. Fun fact, the Fallen in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen carried a Void Scepter. Optimus asks Metroplex if he will stand with him and battle Trypticon as he did before, and Metroplex answers that he cannot due to his dangerously low energon reserves. Optimus comes to the realization that the Autobots will have to stand alone in this fight. Cycles later, we go to the outskirts of Harmonex. The Autobots see Trypticon has reached it. With the city evacuated, they're ready to set their plan in motion, which is to drop the Great Tower in the city center on top of the Titan. What's sad about that is that they don't want to do this because Harmonex, also known as the Singing City, is a beautiful city made of lithic crystals and is the center for art and learning. It's just yet another thing the Autobots have to lose on Cybertron. Optimus orders the Autobots to roll out. Sunstreaker, leading a squad, grabs Trypticon's attention, leading the beast next to the tower. Ironhide, with his heavy weapons gun crew, fires into the tower. With Trypticon distracted, Silverbolt and his aerial bots finish the job by bombarding the tower, causing it to collapse on top of the Titan, burying the beast. We're gonna transition away from that madness to yet another badass entrance in this series, and one we've all been waiting for. We go to Kokular, where Scorponok is enjoying the footage of Trypticon's destruction. Starscream approaches, informing him he is needed in the main hall because the Decepticons want to honor their true leader. Once Scorponok enters the hall, Megatron greets him. He says, "It's good of you to welcome me home, Scorponok." When Scorponok questions if it's truly Megatron, Megatron says, "Here's a hint," and fires at him, taking out one of his legs. As he tries to crawl away, Megatron walks toward him, telling him that there is nowhere he can escape. There won't be any trial or form of exile done to him. Only death awaits him. Scorponok tries to fight back, but he is nothing compared to the might of Megatron. Megatron slams him into the ground and fires into his face. He orders the Terracons to feast on Scorponok's body, but to make sure they leave enough of him intact that his pain centers still function. They all rip into Scorponok like vultures on a corpse as he screams no. Starscream tries to buck his here by telling Megatron he's pleased to have him back. However, Megatron tells him to speak when spoken to, and that his part in the coup will be discussed later. In all reality, Starscream should have met the same fate as Scorponok, or at least should have been severely punished. Megatron orders Shockwave to make preparations to repair his body, and says, "Now somebody tell me what's been done to my world." This is one of the reasons why I love Monstrosity, because Megatron really is the star of this series. He has just been awesome throughout it all. I love the way he's been written. Okay, so anyways, now we go back to Harmonix. Ironhide checks on Trypticon to see if the Dragon Titan is down for the count. He reports to Optimus that the beast isn't moving until the cyber predators burst out from beneath the rubble. Now, I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but Ratchet deduces that the cyber predators are being manufactured within Trypticon's internal foundries. As the Autobots are being overwhelmed, it gets even worse. Trypticon also rises from beneath the rubble, roaring. The Dragon Titan blasts Ironhide's heavy weapons unit out of their nest. At that moment, Optimus calls out to Trypticon, getting the Titan's attention. Now, just like Hot Rod in the Transformers 1986 film, who used the Matrix to defeat Unicron, Optimus tries to do the same thing here. He asks the Matrix to unleash its power in this desperate hour. However, his call for help goes unanswered, and the Matrix fails to open. Trypticon swats Optimus with his tail and stomps him into the ground. Sometime later, Optimus Prime is beaten and broken. In his inner monologue, he wonders if Die Atlas was right. What if the Matrix was wrong in choosing him as the new Prime? Just when Optimus is about to lose all hope, he immediately regains it when he sees not a bird, not a plane, but a ship descending. A ship carrying the Dinobots. They halo jump out of the ship as Grimlock yells, "Attack!" They land and start taking out the cyber predators. This was so awesome, and it's not over. Optimus is then approached by Megatron, who is fully repaired. He is here by himself because, as he puts it to Optimus, he didn't want any of his soldiers to be devoured by Trypticon. That's what a good leader does, protect those who invest in him. When Optimus responds that he is no good leader and is just as monstrous as Trypticon, Megatron tells him that despite everything he's done, he would have never released such a beast, and that it has never been his intention to bring devastation to Cybertron. Remember this, because it is important and will come back into play in the next series. He says, "I should kill you now for the second time, no less. But I want you to watch as I stand against this monstrosity and do what you could never do." Suddenly, Grimlock tackles him from behind while saying, "You always did talk too much." Now, as the two former gladiators of Kaon battle it out, Optimus reminds Grimlock not to forget who he is, trying to make sure that Grimlock doesn't lose himself to the beast inside him again. But before he can say anything else, he suddenly collapses. Grimlock and Megatron, both distracted, end up getting eaten by Trypticon. Inside Trypticon, Grimlock wants to continue the fight with Megatron, but when they both realize Trypticon's cyber predators have them surrounded, they agree to work together, for now. However, Grimlock promises Megatron once they're done, he'll end him, which is awesome. Grimlock and Megatron battle the nightmarish creatures, until the beasts force them to fall even deeper within Trypticon. Outside, the Autobots notice that Trypticon is heading towards Iacon next. They find Optimus and place the Matrix back within him. Even though their plan to use the Matrix failed, they refuse to give up. Back within Trypticon, Megatron saves Grimlock from falling further into the Titan. They both discover and find themselves in front of the Titan's massive plasma core. They deduce if the tanks feeding it raw energon is destroyed, it will go down for good. Their plan is Grimlock will destroy the tanks since he has experience with the raw volatile energon, while Megatron covers him and deals with the cyber predators. Outside, Ultra Magnus suggests they withdraw and worry about Iacon. Bumblebee disagrees and thinks they should focus on the cyber predators. When he's about to get attacked by one, Slag saves him. The Dinobots approach and inform the Autobots that their weapons won't do anything to Trypticon, but the beast can be killed from the inside. Their only hope is Grimlock, who is still fighting inside. Within Trypticon, Grimlock is desperately trying to destroy all of its tanks, while Megatron covers him. The raw energon begins to overwhelm him, and the beast inside begins to take over. Megatron tells him to fight the effects and says, "Fight it, damn you." He remembers Optimus's words to Grimlock and says, "Remember who you are." At that moment, Grimlock roars and says, "I am Grimlock!" He slashes the final tank and it explodes. The Dragon Titan falls. Afterwards, the Autobots celebrate the victory until Megatron approaches. He tells them that they put too much faith in the Matrix instead of real strength, that Optimus learned that lesson the hard way, and if he falls, they're nothing without him. Ultra Magnus declares he is under arrest, but Megatron just snickers because his Decepticons have arrived. The Autobots are outnumbered and outgunned. Now, they could have been wiped out here and now. Instead, Megatron allows them to leave in honor of what they fought for today, but does inform them he will take possession of Trypticon. Ironhide points his blaster at him and refuses to allow Megatron to have the Titan. Grimlock appears and tells Ironhide without the volatile energon, Trypticon is nothing but a heap of scrap. Megatron reminds Grimlock of his promise to end him, but Grimlock tells him he'll decide when and where they'll settle the score. As the Autobots depart, Skywarp asks Megatron if they should kill the Autobots here and now. Megatron replies, "No, let them crawl back and nurse their wounds. Soon, the game will begin anew. I will bring war upon the Autobots unlike anything they can imagine. And in that hour, Megatron shall at last reign supreme." Now, the story could have ended there, but no, we get more. Later, within Trypticon, Megatron takes Pentius's spark and connects it with Trypticon's core. The Titan of Death rises again as a Decepticon. Megatron now possesses the power of a Titan. I cannot wait to bring you guys the final arc of the Autocracy trilogy, Primacy, where Megatron will bring hell, fire, and death to Cybertron and the Autobots. But until then, check out my newest Transformers Shattered Glass video or my G.I. Joe versus the Transformers video. I hope you all had a blast with this series. If you did, please smash that like button, comment down below your thoughts. Other than that, have an awesome day, and always remember, every day to transform and go beyond. See you later, Beyonders.